Hey everyone, welcome to week one. I want to provide you at the beginning here an overview of the tasks that you need to complete for this week, the overview of how those tasks fit into our bigger picture and our goals for the short summer session that we're together. And I'm going to try to divide those into specific activities that you're going to do, specific readings that you're going to do, and then the specific things that I want you to be thinking about as you move into the second week. So the first thing I want to talk about are your activities for week one. First activity that you have is to fill out a Likert scale survey related to your readiness for online learning and teaching. So that's task number one. You'll find that task on the Moodle website under activities. The second activity task that you will have for the week is to create a very short introduction video to yourself for your classmates. This is a couple minutes max. We're not looking to hear a whole lot about your background because we do all know one another in this course, have had courses together. The goal of that activity is primarily built around making sure that you can videotape yourself and upload video into Moodle for practice for down the road. So thinking about that, the second thing that I want to talk to you about are the readings for the week. You have two specific readings that you're going to read for week one, and you will find those also are posted on our Moodle site under week one readings. Those readings are related to online learning and pre-service education for online learning. There is an article, it's a research article, and its topic, let me look at my sheet here. The topic is called Learning to Teach Online, What Works for Pre-Service Teachers. This article, very well-written research design here, and one of the things that it talks a lot about is the community of inquiry. And as you are thinking about what you are creating for the Westfield students, we are trying to build that within this course as well. So the very first thing it talks about in this article is the framework for developing a community of inquiry. And within that community of inquiry, the first thing that's necessary is the social presence. And to create the social presence, students have to feel connected to one another. So this video introduction is one way for us to try to make sure that even though we're separated by space and not meeting together, that we do feel socially connected. I also view it as a really important way for you to think about how you are going to develop that sense of social presence in the course that you're creating for your Westfield students down a few weeks from now. So as you are reading these articles, pay special attention to how these articles relate to the work that we're trying to do both in our class this summer session, as well as how it would impact the way you design the course that you're making for the Westfield kids. So that's two articles that you're going to be reading. The third thing to be thinking about is, or the third thing I want you to think about, is the classroom management plan. The classroom management plan is the first major assignment due for the summer session, and it is due May 29th. That's in your syllabus. I already talked to you guys about that. But the classroom management plan will start out by asking you to rethink your philosophy and to think about your long-range goals as a teacher of a specific content area. So as you are thinking about your classroom management plan, you are thinking about what is it that I want my students to take away from my math class, my English class, my social studies class. Beyond the very specific things that you're going to do with them, we want you to be thinking about what do you want them to be doing forever and always after having class with you. So again, in terms of the big picture, the classroom management plan fits into the big picture by asking you to think about your community of inquiry. Who will be in your class? How do you want to be together? All of those components play into creating your classroom management plan, and you have to unit plan for that. So as you are beginning to do your work on your classroom management plan, you will find it necessary to do supplemental reading. I've provided for you in Moodle a list of 3 articles for this week on that are supplemental. They are not required for you to be reading and commenting on, but I think that they will be helpful as you are trying to develop your classroom management plan. And I've very specifically selected the ones that are related to technology in case you want to incorporate any of that into the unit planning you're doing. So then finally, the last thing I want you to be thinking about this week is the topic that you would like to cover in your 2-week unit with students. You have 10 days of instructional time with students. You need to decide on the topic or the content that you want to teach in that 2-week unit. It's not that the content is going to drive the instruction. Results and objectives will drive your instruction, but we need to determine what the topic is. So you need to think carefully this week about what you want your 2-week unit to focus on, because as we move into week 2, we'll begin reviewing that backward mapping process and considering what are you going to have them do by the end of that 2 weeks. So quick recap. 2 activities required for the week. You have the Likert Scale survey. You have the video introduction, posting that online. You have 2 readings to do, and you are considering those readings in light of how they relate to the courses we're trying to develop it right now. Make sure that as you are reading those articles, you do annotate, ask questions, be a critical, active thinking reader as you go along, and make sure that you have comments about that reading, questions, all of those things I ask you to do on a regular basis as a critical reader. When Rebecca and I post questions on the forum, it will be important for you to be able to participate in that conversation, okay? If you have any questions for me, you are welcome to email me directly, and if those questions tend to be common questions, then we may pull together a whole class meeting in case that's necessary through the Adobe Connect. So this is my first time doing this little instruction, pre-instruction, I guess. So I'm sure I'll get better at it as we go along, but hopefully this guides you for week 1. Okay? See you guys next week.